Hi guys, I literally just filmed this voiceover, but I have to refilm it. Let's get into it. I'm using L'Oreal True Match Foundation in W4, and it's a pinch light for my skin tone, but we're going to be bronzing up the face anyway. So I'm using a damp beauty blender, and I didn't use a primer because I'm actually going to wipe this off, and yeah, so I just didn't want to use primer. But you can use a primer. I suggest the Hourglass mineral primer for the summer because it really makes your makeup stay on all day. So I'm just blending this into my face. And now we're going to go straight into eyebrows. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Palette, and this is their Pro Palette. I absolutely am obsessed with this because I literally mix like 4 colors every time I do my eyebrows. I'm just playing around with what works best. And I believe I used taupe, soft brown, and caramel this time. And I'm also using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow brush, which is super convenient because it has a spoolie on the other end. So when I do my eyebrows, I like to add powder and then blend out with the spoolie and then keep on adding powder and just continue that process until I have one big brow. I'm just playing. But I like to do this because it makes it look more natural and the hairs actually blend in with the powder, so it all just looks seamless and it looks like I actually have nice defined brows. Now I'm just going to clean them up because I am growing them out, so I don't like that fuzzy look underneath. I'm using the same foundation, whatever was left on the cap, and I'm using a MAC flat shader brush, I guess this is, but I always use this for cleaning up my brows because it gives you a nice, precise tip. So I'm just cleaning that up because they're really furry, because I'm going to Miami, and I'm trying to grow them out for Miami. So, cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. Now I'm going in with eye primer just to make the shadow really stick to my eyelid, and I'm using the Lorac front of the line eye primer. This comes with the palettes, and I'm so excited for the Lorac Pro 2 palette because I'm obsessed with the number 1. At first I wasn't really excited, but I just love the consistency. But I'm going to use the Lavish palette first. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm using the shade Orange Soda. And on my skin tone, this shows up. So if it doesn't show up on your skin tone, try adding a white base underneath the shadow to make the color stand out. So I'm just putting this all over the lid as a kind of base for the other shadows. Now I'm using Sienna with a MAC brush, and I'm putting this into my crease. And I should have used a smaller crease brush, but I didn't realize that my brush is so old that it's like frayed and it doesn't give me that precise look that it once did. So I did repurchase this brush because I'm obsessed with it. I believe this is a 217. And for my crease, it's perfect, but once it gets old and used, it's just like furry. It's a furry brush. So as you can see here, my crease just went up to my eyebrow, but I'm going to fix that, so don't worry, girl. And I'm just blending that out. And you can leave, the eyes just as is. You don't have to add that inner pop of color, but I was just feeling adventurous this morning, so you're gonna see I'm gonna switch it up a bit because, yeah. Although this looks pretty too, just having like oranges and browns. You guys know I love my neutrals. Now I'm going in with the Maybelline concealer. This is the Fit Me concealer. I'm obsessed with this. I'm almost out of this one. I believe this is in the color Light or Sand or Sable. It's number 20. And I'm just blending that out and cleaning up the edges of my eyeshadow. I love doing this because I hate putting tape on my eyes. No matter how much I try to de-stickitize, is that a word? Whatever, de-sticky it, the tape always pulls on my eyes, so I don't like that. Now I'm using MAC Cork, and I'm using a Luxie Lush brush. And now I'm going in with the Lorac Pro palette. This is the color Light Bronze, and this is a Coastal Scents brush. And I think this is one of the first times I'm not wearing nail polish in a video. Crazy. Now I'm using a Coastal Scents brush to blend the light bronze with the sienna and orange soda, just to kind of neutralize everything. The light bronze has just the smallest amount of shimmer, so it doesn't look too crazy or disco-y, but it looks gorgeous. Now I'm using gold, also from the Lorac Pro palette, and I'm just focusing that on the outer edge of the eye. So just give it like a nice transition from light to dark. And now I'm blending that. Now I'm adding more sienna because I wanted the outer edges of my eye to be a little more prominent. So I'm just darkening that up. Now I'm using the LA Girl Cosmetics Gold Gel Liner. You can use a pop of color if you'd like. I'm just using this because I wanted to see how it looked on the eye. It's kind of like a yellowish gold. I kind of wish it was more of a bronzy, but we were just experimenting today, playing with makeup. That's the fun of it. You know, you just play around with makeup because, I don't know, we're junkies, right? We like to buy makeup, so might as well use it. Now I'm doing my liquid liner. I'm using the Stella Stay All Day liquid liner, and this is in Black is Black. It's my all-time favorite liner, liquid liner, because it literally lasted me so long. I don't even remember when I purchased this one, and it's still super duper moist. Moist, I don't really like that word, but it's, you know, it's still working like brand new, so I'm obsessed with this. I'm also obsessed with the Lorac one. It's kind of like a tie between the two. I'm in love with both of them, but today I went with this one. And I'm just fixing the other eye because I made this one too big. Girl problems. And now I'm using the Revlon Bold Lacquer Mascara, and I'm obsessed with this. It came in one of these boxes, you know, those monthly boxes, which I have a review coming up on. So I would have never purchased it because I've never really purchased Revlon mascara. But I'm in love with it. Now I'm just using the Whitening Lightning Brow Bar to go to give my eyebrows a bit more definition and more of a brown tint to them. Because I like my brows to be pretty brown, or reddish brown if you may. So just clean that up. And now I'm using a Think Red Cherry number 43 lashes. These are super duper abused, and I'm sorry, but I lose the clip of the other eye. Don't know what happened there, but boom, I put the other eye. Now I'm using the Coastal Scents Hot Pots, and I'm mixing two shades. I'm mixing the color Dark Mango and CM05. And these are the Hot Pots by Coastal Scents, and this is also a Coastal Scents brush. And I'm just putting this in the inner corner of my eye. This is normally where a lighter shade would go, but I was feeling adventurous and kind of tribal. So now I'm using the MAC Prep and Prime Light Boost highlighting pen, and I use this because it really just brightens up the eye, and because we have such a dramatic look on the eye, you want to balance that out. When I'm doing a smoky eye or something crazy like this, I like to really lighten up that under eye area because it kind of just balances everything out, and I'm obsessed with that. Now I'm going in with Emphasize by MAC. This is a pro shader palette thing, and I'm using a Sigma brush to just set my concealer. Now I'm using the MAC Pro Uninterrupted Shadow. This is actually an eyeshadow, but I'm using the NARS Eater brush to contour with that. And now I'm going to bronze up my face with the NYX Matte Bronzer, and this is in the shade 3, I believe. It's the darkest one that comes. And my holy grail brush, it's the Large Angled Brush by Luxie Lush. Like, I'm obsessed with this brush. It is the only brush that I've been using to bronze up my face. It fits perfectly on the sides of my face, and you can hear Coco in the background. So I am just bronzing the perimeters of the face. Newfound favorite, Lorac Tantalizer. I got the mini one at Ulta. I should have just got the big one because it's the perfect, like, blush bronzer for the summertime. I literally use this instead of blush. I'm obsessed. And I'm using the Sephora Pro Contour 74 brush. Because that little mini size is so small, it's kind of hard to get your brush in there, so I use that brush. Now I'm using an Eco Tools brush with Uninterrupted underneath my eye. And I'm just smoking it out a little bit. And I'm going to smoke it out a little bit more with Espresso from the Lorac palette. And that's a Coastal Scents brush. So I'm just blending with my fingers. I love blending underneath my eye with my fingers because it really just diffuses the color and makes it look very, very pretty. This is MAC Honey Love. I know I apply my lipstick weird. You don't have to remind me I'm weird. And Moth to Flame by MAC. Beautiful, 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 beautiful lip gloss. Obsessed with it. And it just gives you a nice shine. And some lower lash mascara, the same Revlon Bold Lacquer Mascara, which, again, obsessed. It's so nice. It's so, so nice. I never would have picked it up. I honestly would have never picked it up. And I love this. This is MAC Golden Bronze Loose Powder. You can't find it online, but they do still sell it in stores. I love applying this as my highlight in the summertime. And some last minute blending, of course, because, come on guys, you know me. You know me, I'm a blending. And this is Charge Water by MAC to just give me a moist, dewy look. So that is the complete look. I hope you guys enjoyed this very different look. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Mwah.